everyone, and welcome back to a game called Quest. This is our 4th episode 0 and our first ever game with Elyse. I'm so excited to have you guys all joining us today.
Hi! Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm so excited and nervous. Let's get going, shall we?
Yeah, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, hi! So my name is Sue, and I'm going to be playing Elyse, and this is my first tabletop RPG adventure game, so I'm very nervous and excited. I don't know, this is going to be quite a time, and I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing, and you're going to be amazing, and Elyse is going to be amazing.
Yee!
Without further ado, let's go. Your story begins in a hot and desolate desert ruin. From the fallen, crumbling stone structures to the towering sand dunes and long, sandy plains, you will find danger and treasure in a wide variety, but very few actual life forms. In this ruin, magic is hot, fiery, and dangerous. Danger is deadly and unforgiving, and daily life is heated and often filled with dread. So, we begin with a pan in over this wide and desolate desert. It's a lot of the same. Large sand dunes just stretching of this golden, hot sand. You can almost see the waves radiating off of it. And we pan over for quite a while just looking at this desert. And then in the distance you see the fallen rocks and ruins, that same beige sandy color, but this echo of a former treasure. This almost cave-like structure, perhaps the ruins of a previous underground tomb or something of that nature. And as we come up on this beautiful yet tragic scene of this just forgotten place, you see the silhouette of a woman, the sun setting in the distance, her hair flying out as the wind whips the sand around her. And then we get a zoom in very, very quickly, a flash to an item in somebody's hands. A map of our world, faded, crumbled, tears on the edges, splatters of blood being held in 2 hands. We see flashes of a sad and tragic scene, a man dying before somebody's eyes, somebody almost wanting to help, but sounds of clashing swords fill the room, and then we flash back to the map. And then we zoom out, and we see who's holding it. So, Sue, do you want to go ahead and give me a description of your character? The expression on her face, the general look of her. What is she looking like as she stands at the mouth of this ancient ruin, preparing to enter?
So Elyse, everything that she's known her whole life seems blurry to her now. She is incredibly nervous, but she's not somebody who would like to show it, but you can see her furrowed brows, that she's deep in thought, and you can see her breathing heavy as she's holding on to this map pretty hard in her hands. She's considering if she wants to take a step towards the ruins, towards this this place, this cave, but then part of her's knows that if she takes this step forward, then she will never be able to go back. So we see her hesitance, but we still see her confidence and the powerful allure that she has about her. And then we slowly see her take that step forward. So Elyse is, she has this softly kissed caramel mocha skin, and she has these red-green eyes that are that seem dangerous but have this springness to them. You can tell that there's life, but there's also so much darkness and violence. But just in the middle of these red eyes is just the spring of green. Just a hint, so you can feel them. She has black bob, this black short hair, but you see a single streak of red that almost makes you think about fire when it brushes across the wind. And then you see all of this, and then you just see that scar running down from her forehead area all the way down to the middle of her cheek, it goes right past her eye. So there's this scar in the middle of her eye, so something has clearly happened there.
You look at the scar, and then you're maybe I should ask, and then you look in her eyes and she's giving you a death glare, and you're like, you know what, maybe not.
Exactly. So she has like this like very intimidating presence about her, but we don't actually know if she's actually intimidating or if this is like just the way that she is or how she looks.
Definitely like you don't want to be on the bad side of her. And you can tell that just boom right when you look at her.
Yes, and she has this like just quietness, but it's like palpable power even in her quietness. So we see her like take these like slow but calculated steps towards this like, what was it? Was it cave?
Yeah, it's a desert cave ruin.
Ooh.
So formerly something perhaps great and mystical, perhaps even wealthy and lavish, but now just crumbling rocks and the entrance to a cave.
So we see this like toned, strong looking, but small, like, 5'4", like medium length, like person. And we just see her like take this like slow step forward. And then we see her like hesitate a little bit. Her like eyes glint in the sun when she like looks up and then looks back. We see like a little sweat drop like from her forehead down to her chin. She wipes her forehead and then just says, well, there's no going back now. And then she mutters this under her breath, and then she decides that she couldn't walk back away from this even if she wanted to, because now it's too late. Now she has to go forward. And then there's this strange pull from this like cave type ruin thing anyway. Like she feels like even if she wanted to, she couldn't walk away. So she decides that she doesn't want to like stay on this very much longer, so she just decides that she doesn't even have the time to be thinking about this right now, and then she takes a few more steps forward into the mouth of the cave.
As you make the decision to take a few steps toward the mouth of the cave, you can feel the locket on your chest, the eye locket on your chest. You can feel it just slightly pulling, almost as if it doesn't leave your chest. There's no like levitation, but it almost feels like something is pulling you toward this entrance.
And this is obviously a little startling. Like Elyse like briefly like just touches the locket with her finger, like what is going on with that? Like I've never experienced that before in my life.
Exactly. And by the time you're done looking down and examining the locket, when you look up, you've already walked up to the entrance.
Spooky.
So, you reach the mouth of the cave, and it's not a door, necessarily. It's more of a stone wall that kind of is a slight indent away so it's this large cave mouth, and then there's a slight indent, and there's just like this solid stone wall right before you. And on the wall, there is a series of strange runes that you can't quite make out, but there is scratched underneath of it, as if somebody has translated them. It says, "Entrance will be granted to those who are willing to sacrifice their own blood."
Elyse takes a look at this little scratched, like little letters. She places her fingers over the little runes just to like feel it at her fingertips, and it feels like, I guess, strange and like rocky, but that it's been there for like a really long time.
Go ahead and give me a roll. Just a fate roll to see what you can discern from just feeling the sides of this panel and feeling the runes, and just, what can you gather?
Oh, heck, it's an 8.
Okay, so an 8 is a tough choice. So I think you can either... You do succeed, but there is going to be a cost. Either you trigger something and set a trap that will come to fruition later, or you hurt yourself in the process of feeling around. You get your hand jammed in between parts of stone.
I think I'll pick the first option, which I regret immediately that we're gonna go do it. I saw the smile in the DM's face when I said that.
No one needs to know yet what that's going to be. So I think what happens is you feel the runes. They are magical in nature. You can tell they're definitely like hand etched into the wall as you feel them, but they feel different than the rest of the stone. So there's something almost smooth about what these letters each feel like, and you would know that is a magic, basically like protection barrier that can only be unlocked by a blood sacrifice. It requires blood to open this entrance. And as you're feeling, you trace each of the letters, and as you're tracing the last rune, it all like for a moment glows and then stops, and that's all.
Interesting.
It glows like fiery red.
Ooh. Elyse has never seen magic like this before. She wasn't even sure if magic existed. She only knew like the things of weapons and stuff, so this like startles her a little bit. It's like nothing she's like experienced before, but she decides that she's taking too long to think, and she's nervous about what could be going on behind her. She's like seems like there's something like suspicious going on, because she like keeps checking behind her.
Mm-hmm.
But like not frantically, but just enough, like every once in a while, like she'll look back while she's still like doing whatever the task is at hand. So then she reaches down to her pocket in her pants and she pulls out one of the daggers that she has. And then she takes the dagger and then she slices a little bit of her hand. And then she like has the blood, and she takes the blood and smears it in the cracks of these letters.
Yes, I love it. Okay. So as soon as you do that, so initially it was more of like an orangey red color, and you could hear and like maybe even a ringing sound. But as soon as you do that, it turns into deep red, scarlet flame color, and there's like and the wall sinks into the ground, leaving the opening to the cave. What do you do?
Elyse rushes in. She doesn't even think about it. Like, she, like, doesn't rush in completely, but she, like, moves in enough just in case the door starts closing again.
Yeah.
So she moves into the cave.
Awesome. So, as you enter the cave, the light shifts. It's no longer the, like, bright burning sunset that you found outside. Instead, the cavern is completely dark, with small embers lining the walls, creating just barely enough light to see. And you can almost see like cracks of even like little lines of like fiery something leading along the wall. And as you walk down slowly, the wall starts to rumble, and you can see there's a drop at the end of the hall that you're walking down. And as you continue forward, the floor is rumbling a little bit. What do you do?
So she sees the drop and she decides to take this risk because she has a rope in her backpack. That's one of her personal inventory items. And she wants to like take that rope and slowly climb down.
Right, so as you near the beginning of this drop, you can actually see that there is the remnants of a bridge there, like a rope bridge with like panels falling out. And when you peer over the edge, there is a sea of lava underneath. Oh. You can see the bridge connects to another side, and maybe it wasn't a complete drop, it was just like a partial drop, and it connects to another side. And as you're peering over, you see a far drop with this lava bubbling underneath.
Okay, what if I look up?
If you look up, you see two beings made of fire lurking above your head.
Oh.
As you might have triggered a trap earlier, it now occurs to you.
Oh!
So there are now two fire constructs hanging above your head, and a sea of lava a few steps away.
Is the gap too far for me to take the rope and use it as a lasso?
Yeah, you can certainly do that. The golems are swiftly approaching you, though.
Oh god, I don't know how strong these things are.
They're smaller than you.
Okay.
As they climb down the wall, you can see little handprints of lava burning into the side of the stone.
Is it possible to talk to them?
You can certainly try. Do you want to make a roll? Because I am going to have you make a roll to see how this would go. Do you want to make a roll first and then decide what you say, depending on how well?